Steve Merrill back here on WagerTalk TV with the big game breakdown for Tuesday night pro basketball. Before I get to that NBA breakdown for you, a quick reminder, I'm releasing my strongest college basketball play, really my strongest play in any sport goes tonight on Tuesday. And I say any sport because the last time I had a 5% best bet was way back on June 20th, over 230 some days ago, over 474 plays ago. It was in baseball, June 20th. It cashed. I had no 5% in football and nothing in basketball yet this year, but one goes tonight. So check that out. I know we're talking NBA here, but don't miss that strong college basketball best bet at wagertalk.com. All right, for a big game breakdown, I'm going to look at one of the best games on the board tonight on Tuesday, your 8 o'clock Eastern game, Miami at Milwaukee, Heat at the Bucks. And the Milwaukee Bucks have had a very interesting season. Normally, when you're one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the NBA, you don't change coaches, you don't have turmoil, but that's been the case for Milwaukee. Doc Rivers, though, looks like he's riding the ship. And this is a Milwaukee team that enters this game in excellent current form. And despite just 2 wins and just 2 and 3 straight up and just 3 and 5 their last 8, they're still in excellent current form. And there's a couple reasons I say that. First of all, they blew out the Charlotte Hornets by 36 points back last Friday. Nothing impressive about that. They were a 14.5-point favorite. But what was impressive was their blowout win of the Denver Nuggets yesterday on Monday last night. They closed as a 1-point home dog. They won by 17, but they led by as many as 28 points. Very impressive win against the defending world champs. And normally you would say this is a huge flat spot for night for Milwaukee. And normally I would agree with you, but I don't think it is. I think this is a Milwaukee team that wants to keep the momentum going as they have this game and also a game on Thursday at Memphis before the All-Star break when they're off all of next week. I look for them to be a play-on spot tonight, and the Miami Heat are shorthanded. They're banged up. This is a team that has still struggled. Keep in mind, they had that season high and actually Spolstra high 7-game losing streak a couple weeks ago. They have gone 4-2 since, but they're still just 4-9 straight up their last 13. And when you dig deeper and look at those recent wins, all 4 became as favorites against Sacramento, the awful, not my Washington Wizards, the Orlando Magic, and the awful San Antonio Spurs. When they stepped up in class again on Sunday, they lost to the Celtics, but it was an impressive loss. Only lost by 4 as an 8-point home dog. They also lost by 13 to the Suns a few games back. They lost by 8 against the Clippers last week. They lost by 33 to Boston a couple weeks ago. So since that 7-game losing streak started a couple weeks ago, they have not done well against Class A teams, and Milwaukee is playing finally like a Class A team tonight. So if you're going to play it, you better lay it. And normally, I look for the shorthanded team to have some motivation and for the favorite to overlook them. Just don't think that's going to be the case. And as Milwaukee Bucks are focused and they want to finish this week off right. Speaking of injuries, as I mentioned, the Miami Heat will be shorthanded tonight. Jimmy Butler is expected to miss with personal reasons. Josh Richardson, dislocated right shoulder. Terry Rozier, a sprained right knee. And Duncan Robinson, who was out with the concussion protocol for a few games, is now questionable after suffering a left shoulder/elbow sprain in that loss against Boston on Sunday. So a banged up shorthanded Miami team catching a hot, what I think is heating up Milwaukee team in a bad spot. If you're going to play it, I would recommend laying it. Lay the 8 points with the Milwaukee Bucks at 8 o'clock Eastern tonight. And don't forget, my strongest play all season tonight goes in college hoops for Tuesday. It's a 5% steamroller blowout. First 5% best bet I've had in any sport since last June. And by the way, yes, that won. But more importantly, take a serious investment approach. I know everyone's going to get to play tonight. If you want to get it for just $2, that's fine. But you really should consider a direct subscription. I'm number 1 this season in college and pro basketball sides combined since the beginning of October when both seasons began. 76-53. That includes a perfect 2-0 sweep last night. So yes, I like this play a lot tonight, but I like all the games I release. And that's why a direct subscription, including the buy one, get one 50% discount on basketball right now for a full month, is still available. No matter which option you choose, check that out along with a bonus free college basketball play on my page, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM.
The Detroit Pistons continue their road trip out west on Tuesday night, coming in off some decent form as well across recent games, beating both Sacramento and Portland outright before falling short against the Clippers on Saturday, with the Lakers on deck tonight in another LA battle for Detroit. That Clippers loss, however, holds, no shame for the Pistons, who were up by as many as 13 points in the second half of that game before the Clippers were able to rally late in the fourth quarter and pull out the victory. That impressive recent form to Detroit of late, however, will go up against the Los Angeles Lakers team in this one that are in some pretty decent form themselves right now, winning 4 of the last 5 games outright. And, we were spreading the ball around pretty well right now as well, averaging the second highest assist mark in the league across their last 3 starts. That said, though, when we dig a little bit deeper into the numbers here for Detroit, from that loss against the Clippers over the weekend, the Pistons out rebounded the Clippers 57-35 in that game. They had a massive 68-34 advantage inside the paint as well. But as we said, look, the Clippers were able to rally late in that game. Amir Coffey stepped up, Paul George as well, and the Clippers are one of the best teams in the entire league right now, and frankly, needed to be in order to reverse that game and pull out the victory. But that's just not who this Lakers team is for me this season. I have them ranked, significantly lower in raw power rankings this year than the Clippers are. And when you look at the numbers, it just highlights that. The Clippers ranked fourth in offensive efficiency this season. The Lakers are 19th. Clippers first in three-point shooting percentage this season. Lakers are 16th. Clippers 9th in defensive scoring. Lakers are 18th. So, in pretty much every available major metric this year, either offensively or defensively, the Clippers are the superior team. So, if we get that same level of effort out of Detroit tonight in this game that we did at the weekend against the Clippers, I just don't see the Lakers being able to pull this one back and rally to get the win. I know that the Lakers destroyed this Pistons team by 26 points back in November, inside Detroit as well. But this isn't the same Detroit Pistons team right now in my eyes that they were back then. We're seeing production on the offensive end from the Pistons that, we just haven't seen from them all year. And watching that game against the Clippers over the weekend, plus seeing their 2 previous victories against Sacramento and Portland before that as well, this Detroit team is in some really solid form right now. And, I just think this is too many points to be given up later tonight in terms of what the Lakers have to lay against a good, but look, nonetheless overvalued Lakers team in my eyes. So yeah, Detroit for me catching double digits tonight in Los Angeles. That's the side of the play I like in that one. But in terms of a best bet, I'm going to turn over to another game I already bet for tonight's card as well and look at the total in the Minnesota Timberwolves and Portland Trail Blazers matchup. But just before I do, I want to remind everyone of WagerTalk's 50 off 30 offer, which is going on right now. Actually been extended an extra week as well due to high demand. That offer gets you a full $50 off any 30-day sports-specific or all-access pass of your choice when using code 50 off 30. That's 50OFF30 to get $50 off any 30-day package at WagerTalk for this week only. So make sure to lock that in before it expires. In terms of best bet, I'm going to take a look, like I said, at the under in the matchup between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Portland Trail Blazers later tonight in the Northwest. For all their problems this season, the Blazers defense has actually been pretty decent of late. They ranked top 10 in opponent points per game across their last 3 starts. They kept the Bulls, Sixers, Nuggets, and Pelicans to an average score margin of just 106.6 points per game across 5 of the last 7 matchups as well. And they face a Minnesota Timberwolves team tonight that have been even better defensively. The Timberwolves allowed an average of just 99 points per game in the recent 2-game series against Oklahoma City. One of the best offensive teams in the entire league, obviously, this season. They allowed 100 points against the LA Clippers, 105 against Milwaukee, 90 against Houston. I mean, this team is just shutting down teams defensively right now, and that's been pretty much what they've been doing all season as well. Minnesota ranks as the number 1 team in the league in both defensive scoring and defensive efficiency this season. So, the under's going to red hot 23-8-1 in the Blazers' last 32 games when playing a team with an above 600 win percentage. And, given the way both defenses are playing right now as well, I wouldn't back on that trend snapping here tonight. So under 216 points for me in this one between the Timberwolves and Blazers in Portland, best bet. That'll do it from me. Don't forget to like the video. And as always, drop your own predictions for this matchup down in the comments section below. Until next time, best of luck on all your bets and slán all you.
Steve Merrill back with a free NBA play for you tonight on Tuesday in the association. We're going to look at your national TV game at 10 o'clock Eastern, Kings and Suns. We'll let you know how to play this game for free on national TV Tuesday night of the NBA. Just a quick reminder, I'm ranked number 1 this year in college and pro basketball sides combined since everything began in October, 76-53. That includes a perfect 2-0 sweep last night on Monday. So obviously I'm seeing it well this year. And now I'm releasing my strongest basketball play of the season. It goes tonight on Tuesday. My first 5% best bet of the year goes tonight in college hoops. Now we're talking NBA, but don't forget the strong college basketball best bet tonight. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, including a free college hoops play as well. And oh, by the way, normally it's $35 for a 5% best bet. Not tonight. It's $2 Tuesday. which means you get an instant 94% discount. So not only am I releasing my first one and only 5% play this basketball season, but you get it for just $2 right now. Don't miss it. Powerful play this evening. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. All right, now let's focus back on the NBA and look at that national TV game at 10 Eastern on NBA TV between the Kings and Suns. I think it's a good spot for Phoenix here as far as the side goes, and I would lean that way. But the Kings match up well, so that kept me off the side. And I'm going to look at the total for your free play, and I like up and over the 244.5. There's a reason this is the highest total of all 6 games on the board, and as is often the case, when a total's high, it's there for a good reason. This should be a shootout tonight for a few reasons I'm going to get to. First of all-star break comes up in just a few days. Got to always be careful with these games. Teams often start going through the motions, start looking towards their 1 week vacation. And if that's the case, it usually shows up more on the defensive side and we get more of a street ball, fast paced scoring mentality. And I think that will be the case here tonight for both squads. They've also played 3 times this year. Keep in mind, they played once because of the in season tournament. So there's been a bonus game thrown in. So instead of 2, they've already played 3 times. And all 3 of those games have stayed under. Of course, the tournament game had a playoff atmosphere. I don't look too much into that. But the most recent meeting, just under a month ago, mid-January, had 236 points. They had 119 at the half. Both teams shot extremely well from the field, but the Kings were only 58% from the free throw line, so there should have been a few more points there. And I know that doesn't get to tonight's total, but it shows that these teams want to run and that neither defense can stop the other. In fact, that's what I look at that last game. The defense was atrocious a few weeks ago, and with the All-Star break looming, I don't see things getting any better this evening. Both teams also have struggled here in recent weeks defensively at times. I think they're getting fatigued. They were halfway through the season, and this is when fatigue starts to show in mid-February. So the combination of tired players, all-star break on the horizon, and 2 teams that love to play fast and that can score with excellent offenses, it all adds up to an over tonight. Highest total on the board, but it's not high enough. You play this national TV game at 10 Eastern, I recommend up and over 244.5 between the Kings and Suns on NBA TV. Don't forget, my strongest play tonight by far comes in college basketball. In fact, it's the strongest play I've released all season. You have to go back to last June in Major League Baseball. Over 230 days ago was the last time I had a 5% play in any sport. I did not have a single one in college or pro football, and we had a great season. I have not had one yet in basketball, and I'm ranked number 1 this season on all college and pro basketball sides since the season began in October, including a 2-0 sweep last night on Monday, now 76-53. And my first 5% side goes tonight, and you don't pay $35. You get it for just $2 because it's a $2 Tuesday night special. No promo code needed. And check out the bonus free college play on my page as well. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM.